Welcome everyone to the 5th installment of Tales with Tales, the show where I try to get through a book review while my dogs harass me and my camera equipment. We've got a good one today by world-renowned author Michael Crichton. This is Dragon Teeth. Let's get into it. So I was really attracted to this book because I've heard of Michael Crichton. He did Jurassic Park. This is the only one I've read. Hey, shh. And he, he's world-renowned. I was drawn to him because, one, he went to Harvard Medical School, which I hope to go to medical school one day, which is really huge. He didn't pursue medicine. He ended up being an author because of how good at it he was. But, he just did a lot of cool works, I think. He wrote for television, for movies, broke many records in those industries. Unfortunately, though, he died prematurely of cancer, I think at the age around 66 or so. And this book was actually published posthumously through his wife that found it through one of his archives. So, really cool author. I can't wait to read more from him. So, this book was awesome because... one, I really liked it because I'd been to a lot of the places in the book. Hey, calm down. It's historical fiction set in 1876. It's about a guy named William Johnson. It's like a really arrogant Yale student. And at this time, 1876, the Wild West was a big thing. There were battles between Native Americans and white men, and there were boom towns from the gold rush. It was just very lawless and open and everything, and so people were kind of afraid to go out there. William Johnson, on a bet, decides to go and spend a summer trip during an archaeological expedition out there, and he meets a huge cast of characters, from crazy professors that are keen on trying to make their name in history through these archaeological and fossil digs, and huge cast of characters. It's totally action-packed, full of really awesome just ideas and storytelling, things like that. Good grief. I've got treats for him right here. So, style-wise, it's super easy to read. He really kind of draws you into the time period and does a really good job of just making everything clear. It's not difficult language or anything. It flows really easily. And he really brings out kind of the dark humor of the... of the time of the Wild West, where it's people are just kind of rowdy, but death happens everywhere. He really does a good job of bringing that in. The length, it wasn't too bad. It was short. It's under 300 pages, but it really moving everything. But he really does a good job of just making the length work. It feels perfect. It's not too short, not too long, even though it is a shorter book under 300 pages. But he does just a good job with it. He uses all the pages that he needs to. Doesn't add any more fluff. That he tells the story as concisely and fruitfully that he can. Content-wise, it's really awesome. There's plenty of twists and turns, a lot of surprises, full of action, and the characters are incredible. Everyone's got these faults, and this guy William Johnson is trying to find his way in all of this, and he's completely transformed from being a Yale student to starting out and doing archaeological digs. Really kind of gets all rough with it. And so content-wise, it was incredible. Again, like I said, my dad is from and lives in the Dakotas in South Dakota, and so we've actually been to tour a lot of these places that he's been, like the Badlands. We've been out to Wyoming to see some of the stuff out there, and to Deadwood, and it's incredible. For me, it was more incredible just to read it and be able to know that I stood there in those places where the fictional character is here. Plus, I think my takeaways are that he does a really good job of matching the timeline. He brings in a lot of real person identities like Wyatt Earp and professors that actually were around at that time studying fossils. And he just makes a really cool story out of this huge cast of characters, and it just works really well. It's just a lot of fun to read. I gave it a 5 out of 5 just because I had so much fun with it. It wasn't anything just mind-blowing, but it was just such a fun read, and I read it probably within 3 days because of how much fun I had with it. But I would encourage all of you guys to check it out if you can. It's a short book. You can find it almost anywhere. You know, Michael Crichton's world-renowned throughout every bookstore. Thank you guys for watching. I hope the dogs kind of behaved. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. This was Tales with Tails. I have more ones lining up. Oh, wow. And we'll call it that.